The Daily Practice Key. Unlock your English fluency. Introduction. Do you want to speak English well, but feel like you are stuck? Do you wish you could watch movies without reading the words on the screen, or join talks easily? Many people who want to learn English feel this way. They try hard, but it feels slow, and that can be sad. But what if there is a simple, strong way to change this? What if the biggest secret to speaking English well is not a hard trick, but something you can do right? Now today, this book, The Daily Practice Key, will show you that secret. We will not give you quick fixes. Instead, we will focus on the most important thing you can do to get better at English, practicing a little bit every day. You will see how giving even a small amount of time to English each day can make a big change. This is the best way to truly become fluent, to feel happy and sure of yourself when learning, and to understand English much better. Think about learning to ride a bike. You do not learn by trying just one time. You learn by getting on the bike often, practicing, and getting a little better each time. This daily practice is the special key that helps you speak English. It is more than just learning words by heart. When you practice every day, you start to feel the language. You start to think in English, which is a big step to speaking well. As you speak, listen, and use new words each day, you feel more sure of yourself. You stop being afraid of making mistakes, and you start to like using English more. Also, practicing daily helps you learn new words in a natural way, as they are used in real sentences. This makes them stay in your mind better than just looking them up in a book. And because you hear and see English often, you understand what people say and what you read much better. Even spending only 15 or 30 minutes each day, if you do it often, builds a strong habit that helps your brain learn English much faster than studying for many hours only one time a week. In this book, we will look at all the ways you can make daily practice work for you. We will share easy and fun things you can do each day to get better at speaking, listening, reading, and writing. We will also give you ideas to help you keep going, even on days when it feels a little hard, and show you how to learn new words well. We want to make sure your practice times are not just good for learning, but also fun. This book is meant to be your friend and helper, giving you the help and the tools you need. The way to speak English fluently starts with one simple, regular step. Today is the perfect time to start building your daily practice habit. Do not wait for a perfect time. The best way is the one you can keep doing. This book will show you how to do that. Are you ready to see what you can do? Are you ready to see your English skills grow by practicing every day? Let's start this exciting journey together. You can speak English with confidence. Turn the page and let's begin. 1. Learn English every day. Learn English every day. It sounds easy, right? But the easiest things can be the most helpful. Think about getting strong. You don't go to the gym for a very long time, just one day each month. That would be too much work and not help much. Instead, you go for a shorter time, more often. You get stronger little by little, day by day. Learning English is the same. To speak English well, you don't need to study for a very long time all at once. You need to take small steps every day. This is the real secret. Let's see why a little bit often is better than a lot rarely. Imagine you have a small plant that needs water. If you give it a whole bucket of water one time each week, it might get too much water then, and then it will be thirsty for the rest of the week. But if you give it just a little water every day, it will grow well. Its roots will drink the water, and it will get stronger and healthier. Your brain is like that plant. When you try to put too much English into your brain all at once, it's like a flood. Your brain can't handle it all, and you forget most of it quickly. But when you spend just a little time with English each day, maybe 15 or 30 minutes, your brain can take it in better. It's like a gentle, steady drink. Each word you learn, Each sentence you understand goes in deeply. This regular, gentle learning helps your brain make strong links for English. These links are like small paths. The more you use them, the wider and clearer they become, making it easier to speak and understand. This daily habit also does something great. It builds energy. Think about waking up. You probably do the same things each morning, right? You get out of bed, brush your teeth, maybe eat breakfast. These are habits. You don't have to think too much about them. Once you start making learning English part of your daily routine, it feels the same. At first, you might have to tell yourself, okay, it's time to practice English now. But as you do it every day, it becomes more normal. It's not a big effort anymore. It's just something you do. And once you have this energy, it's hard to stop. You start to look forward to your English time because you know you are getting better. This feeling of moving forward, even just a little each day, makes you want to keep going. It makes learning from a hard job to a nice, good part of your life. The power of learning something every day is that it all adds up. It's like saving money. If you save just a little money each week, it might not seem like much at first. But after 1 year, you will have a lot of money. Learning English is the same. Every new word you learn, every rule about sentences you understand, every conversation you hear, is like a small amount added to your English money. When you do this day after day, week after week, month after month, those small amounts become a big treasure of knowledge. You learn more words, you understand sentences better, and you feel more comfortable hearing and speaking English. This growing effect is what truly helps you speak fluently. It's not about one big jump. It's about many small, regular steps that, over time, make a big change. You might not see big changes right away, but believe me, you are getting better, slowly and strongly, without you even knowing it. One of the most important good things about practicing English every day is how it makes you feel more sure of yourself. When you try to learn too much at once and you make mistakes, it can make you feel sad. You might think, I am not good at this. But when you practice every day, you have many small chances to succeed. Maybe today you learn a new word and use it right in a sentence. That's a success. Maybe tomorrow you understand a short talk that you couldn't before. Another success. These small wins might seem small, but they are very important. Each time you have a small success, you feel a little more sure of yourself. You start to believe that you can learn English. This good feeling is like fuel for your learning. It makes you want to keep going, to try more, and to speak more. It helps you not be afraid of making mistakes, because you know that mistakes are just part of learning, and you are strong enough to learn from them. So, how can we make learning English a normal part of our lives, not just another thing to study? It's about finding ways to put English into what you already do. Instead of thinking, I must study English, think, how can I use English today? Do you like music? Listen to English songs and try to understand the words. Do you like watching movies or TV shows? Watch them in English, maybe with English words on the screen at first. Do you have a few minutes when you travel or make coffee? Listen to a short English talk. Even simple things help. For example, you can try to think about your day in English. When you eat breakfast, think I am eating toast. When you go outside, think it is a sunny day. These small moments of using English in your daily life make it feel less like studying and more like living. It helps your brain see English as a useful tool to connect with the world, not just a school subject. Now, let's look closer at why this works. Why is this daily English dose much better than studying a lot at once? It's about how our brains learn and remember. When you learn something new, your brain makes fast links. If you don't look at that information again soon, those links fade away. This is why studying a lot for a test often means you forget everything a week later. Daily practice, on the other hand, is like constant support. Each time you look at a word or a grammar point again, you make those brain paths stronger. It's like walking the same path in the forest every day. It becomes easy to see and follow. This regular use helps move information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, where it stays. Also, seeing English regularly helps your brain get better at understanding English. It learns to see common ways of saying things, understand common phrases, and guess what might come next, all of which are important for speaking well. This isn't just about remembering, it's about teaching your brain to think in English. This brings us to the practical part. How can someone who is very busy actually find time for English learning? Each day? This is a common worry, and the answer is to start small and be realistic. You don't need hours each day. Even 15 to 30 minutes of focused practice can make a big difference. The main thing is to do it regularly. Think about what small bits of time you have. Maybe it's your coffee break in the morning, your lunch break, or the 20 minutes before you sleep. Could you listen to an English talk while you cook dinner? Do you practice new word cards for 10 minutes before you sleep? The smallest amount you can do every single day is the most effective. It's better to do 15 minutes regularly than to try for an hour and only do it once a week. The goal is to make it a habit you can keep, not a short burst of effort. And remember, practice doesn't always mean sitting with a book. It can be listening to music, watching a short video, or even just trying to think of 5 new words you learned that day. Any time spent with English helps. Let me tell you a little about my own learning. For a long time, I felt like I wasn't getting better at English. I would buy big grammar books and study for hours on the weekend. I would learn lists of words, but I couldn't use them when I talked to people. I felt sad and like I was wasting my time. Then I changed how I learned. I decided to focus on just one small thing each day. One day, I would just listen to an English song and try to write down the words I heard. The next day, I would look up 5 new words and try to use them in a simple sentence. Another day, I would watch a 5-minute English news clip. It felt like so little, and sometimes I wondered if it was even working. But slowly, things started to change. I began to remember words better. I started to understand more when people spoke. And most importantly, I didn't feel overwhelmed anymore. I felt like I was actually getting better, and that made me want to keep going. It was this small, daily commitment that finally helped me speak English fluently. So we know that learning English every single day is not just a good idea, it's the main thing for speaking fluently. It's like giving your language plant gentle, regular water to help it grow strong. It builds energy, creates lasting memories, and makes you feel more confident with every small success. It's about making English part of your life, not just a task. But how do we actually do it? How do we make this important habit something that is easy to keep and enjoyable? The next part will look at useful, easy ways to make your daily English practice work well and be fun, turning this important idea into your personal way to unlock English fluency. 2. Why practice daily matters. Learning a new language can feel like climbing a very tall mountain. Sometimes, you look up and wonder if you'll ever reach the top. You might try to climb as fast as you can one day, doing a lot of learning, but then feel too tired to climb at all the next day. This kind of climbing doesn't get you very far, does it? It's like trying to drink a whole bottle of water in one gulp. You might feel full for a little while, but you'll be thirsty again very soon. What if, instead of trying to make huge jumps, you took small, steady steps every single day? Imagine walking up that mountain. Each day, you walk a little further. You might not see a huge difference from one day to the next, but after a week, then a month, then a year, you've covered an amazing distance. This is the magic of daily practice. It's the secret key that unlocks your English fluency, not by doing big, tiring things, but by doing small, consistent things every single day. Think about something simple like brushing your teeth. You don't wait until your teeth feel really dirty, then spend an hour scrubbing them, do you? No, you do it for a few minutes every morning and every night. Because you know that this small, daily action keeps your teeth healthy and strong. It's become a habit. Daily practice in English works the same way. It's about building a habit that makes your English skills strong and healthy day by day. When you commit to practicing English just a little bit each day, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, you're not just learning, you're building a powerful momentum. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow and gets bigger and faster. Your learning does the same thing. Each day you practice, you add a little more to your knowledge, and it becomes easier to learn more the next day. This momentum makes learning feel less like hard work and more like a natural part of your day. Our brains are amazing, but they learn best when we are consistent. Imagine trying to remember a new friend's name. If you hear it once in a crowded room, you might forget it quickly. But if you hear it a few times that day, and then again the next day, and maybe see their name written down, it sticks. Your brain starts to say, this is important. I need to remember this. Daily practice does this for English. When you regularly see new words, hear new phrases, or try to speak English, your brain recognizes this as something you want to keep. It moves that information from your short-term memory, the one that forgets things easily, to your long-term memory, where it stays. So, instead of cramming a lot of new words before a test and then forgetting them, practicing a few new words every day helps you remember them for much, much longer. It's like planting seeds. If you plant one seed and water it once, it might not grow. But if you plant a few seeds every day and give them a little water each day, your garden will grow beautifully over time. One of the biggest challenges when learning something new is feeling unsure of yourself. You might be afraid to speak because you think you'll make mistakes. But daily practice helps you overcome this fear by giving you lots of small successes. Think about it. Every single day you decide to practice English, you win. Even if you only spend 5 minutes listening to a song or trying to say a few new words, that's a victory. These small wins are like little sparks that light up your confidence. They show you that you are capable of learning and improving. Over time, these sparks grow into a steady flame of self-belief. You start to feel more comfortable trying things, more willing to speak, and less worried about making mistakes. Because you've practiced so much, mistakes start to feel less like failures and more like opportunities to learn. You know you can just try again tomorrow, and that's okay. This positive feeling is incredibly important for keeping you motivated on your learning journey. Fluency isn't about knowing every single word in the dictionary. It's about being able to understand what people are saying and being able to express your own thoughts and feelings comfortably. How do you get to that point? By getting used to the flow of the language, the sounds, and the common ways people put sentences together. Daily practice is your ticket to this natural understanding. When you listen to English podcasts, watch short videos, or have simple conversations every day, your brain begins to tune into the rhythm of English. It learns to predict what might come next, to understand the general meaning even if you don't know every single word, and to respond more quickly. It's like learning to swim. You can read books about swimming, watch videos of people swimming, and imagine yourself swimming. But the only way to truly become a good swimmer is to get in the water day after day and practice moving your body. The more you immerse yourself in the language, the more natural it becomes. You start to think in English without even realizing it. There's a powerful idea in finance called compound interest. It's when the interest you earn on your money starts earning more interest. Over time, even small amounts of money can grow into a very large amount. Daily practice works exactly like compound interest for your English skills. A little bit of practice every day might not seem like much at first, but over weeks, months, and years, the results are incredible. That small effort compounds. The words you learned last week help you understand new words this week. The grammar you practiced last month makes sentence construction easier today. The confidence you built last year allows you to have longer conversations now. It's the steady, consistent effort that adds up to something truly remarkable. It's far more effective than studying for hours one weekend and then doing nothing for the next 2 weeks. The gains from those intense study sessions often fade away, but the gains from daily practice build on themselves, creating a strong, lasting foundation for your fluency. Let's imagine someone like Maria. Maria came to a new country and felt very lost. She needed to speak English for her job, but she was shy and found it hard to understand. She tried taking an evening class once a week, but by the next class, she had forgotten much of what she learned. She felt frustrated and discouraged. Then someone suggested a different approach: daily practice. Maria decided to try. She committed to just 15 minutes every single day. In the morning, she would listen to a short English news report while making breakfast. During her lunch break, she would read a few pages of a simple English book. In the evening, before bed, she would practice saying a few new words out loud or try to write a short sentence about her day. It wasn't always easy. Some days she was tired, and some days she felt like she wasn't learning anything. But she kept going. She didn't stop. After a few weeks, Maria noticed small changes. She started to understand more of the news report. She found herself recognizing words in the book that she had learned a few days before. When she had to speak to a customer at work, she felt a little less nervous. These were her small wins, her daily successes adding up. After a few months, the changes were much bigger. She could hold simple conversations without feeling completely lost. She understood jokes. She felt more confident asking questions and expressing her needs. Her colleagues noticed her improvement and started speaking to her more. Maria's mountain of learning didn't disappear overnight, but her path up it became clearer and easier. She wasn't just climbing. She was enjoying the journey because she was making steady progress every single day. Her consistent, small efforts had compounded, just like that snowball, growing her confidence and her ability to communicate in English. So we've seen why the daily habit is so powerful. It's not just about putting in time. It's about smart, consistent effort that builds momentum, solidifies learning, and fuels your confidence. It leverages how our brains best remember things and creates a positive cycle of success. It's the compound interest of language learning, turning small daily actions into significant long-term fluency. But knowing why is only half the battle. The next crucial step is understanding how to build this essential daily practice into your life, no matter how busy you are. Let's explore the practical strategies to make daily practice a reality. 3. Grow confidence and motivation. It's funny, isn't it? We often think learning something new, like a language, is a very big hill to climb. We look up and it seems too far, too hard. We might feel a little scared, not sure if we can even take the first step. This is where many of us stop. We wait for a big burst of wanting to learn, a perfect time, or a sudden feeling of being sure of ourselves. But what if I told you the secret is not waiting for these things, but making them a little bit each day? Think about it. When you decide to try English for just a few minutes each day, maybe learning one new word, listening to a short part of a song, or trying to say a simple hello, you are actually doing something. You are finishing a task. You are moving forward. Each of these small wins, these tiny good things, adds up. It's like collecting small stones. At first, one stone doesn't seem like much. But if you keep adding stones every day, soon you have a pile. This pile of good things starts to build something much bigger, your belief in yourself. You start to see that you can do this. You are learning. This feeling of success is a strong way to fight doubt. It's proof right there that you are able. You start to feel a quiet happiness, a feeling of I did it today. And that feeling? It's the very first block in building your confidence. This leads us to the idea that doing something often makes it feel easier. When you are first learning English, everything can feel new and a bit much. The sounds might be new, the words strange, the grammar rules confusing. It's like being in a new town where you don't know the streets. You might feel a little lost, a little worried about making a mistake. But imagine walking those streets every day. You start to see familiar places. You learn which turns go where. The fear of being lost goes away, and you start to feel like you know your way around. Practicing every day does this for English. Each day you listen, you speak, you read, you write, you are walking those streets of the English language. You are getting to know them. The strange sounds start to make sense. The words you didn't know become friends. The confusing grammar starts to feel more clear. This being around English often makes it feel less like a foreign place and more like a place you are getting comfortable in. The worry that once held you back starts to loosen its hold. It's no longer about doing things perfectly. It's about simply trying. And this change from feeling pressure to perform to feeling comfortable trying is a big step in feeling good about your learning. One of the most exciting parts of practicing English often is seeing your own progress. It's like watching a plant grow. You give it water every day, let it have sunshine, and slowly, you see new leaves grow, the stem get stronger. You might not see the difference from one day to the next, but if you look back after a week or a month, the change is clear. The same is true for your English skills. When you practice every day, you will start to notice that things are getting easier. You might find yourself understanding more of a movie you're watching, or being able to make a sentence more smoothly. When you talk, you might remember a new word without even trying. Seeing this progress is like fuel for your desire to learn. It shows you that your effort is working. It's clear proof that you are moving forward. When you see how far you've come from when you first started, it makes you want to keep going. You think, wow, I've already done this much. Imagine what I can do if I keep this up. This good feeling, where progress makes you want to try more, is very strong. Now let's talk about habit. Wanting to learn is a wonderful thing. It's like a small light that gets you started. But lights can go out. Sometimes you wake up and just don't feel like practicing. This is where the real magic of practicing every day comes in. As you try English every single day, it starts to become a habit. It becomes something you just do, like brushing your teeth in the morning or tying your shoes. You don't need to wait to feel like brushing your teeth, right? You just do it because it's part of your regular day. When practicing English becomes a habit, you don't need those strong feelings of wanting to learn as much. The act of practicing itself becomes the reason. This changes things. It means your progress doesn't stop when you don't feel like learning as much. You keep moving forward in a steady and sure way because it's now a normal part of your day. The pressure to feel like it goes away, replaced by the simple, steady rhythm of your daily routine. All of this creates a nice, good cycle. Let's call it a good cycle. Because you are practicing every day, you are getting better. Because you are getting better, your belief in yourself grows. As your belief in yourself grows, you feel more comfortable and willing to try new things with English. Maybe You join a group to talk or try to write a longer email. This more trying with English leads to even more learning and more practice. And guess what? That leads to even more belief in yourself and even more progress. It's like a small ball of snow rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and faster. Your belief in yourself and your ability to use English grow together, each one helping and making the other stronger. This cycle is what changes learning from a hard job into a fun, self-moving journey. Let's think about that fear of speaking. I remember when I first started trying to speak English more. My heart would beat fast, my hands would get wet, and the words I wanted to say would get all mixed up in my head. I was so scared of making a mistake, of sounding silly. I would stay away from times when I had to speak. But then, I decided to just say one thing in English every day. It might have been asking for coffee, asking for directions, or just saying thank you to someone. It was small, but it was every day. After a week of these small talks, something changed. I realized that most people were kind and patient. Even when I made a mistake, they understood me or gently corrected me. The world didn't end. The next week, I tried to say a little more. Maybe I asked how someone's day was. Each small success, each time I got through a talk without a big problem, chipped away at that fear. It wasn't a sudden change, but a slow, steady build. My belief in myself grew not because I suddenly became a perfect speaker, but because I showed myself, day after day, that I could handle it. Just showing up and trying, even not perfectly, was the key. It made the experience normal, making it less about a scary show and more about a simple sharing. This is the power of regular, daily practice, turning fear into comfort and doubt into a quiet, sure belief in yourself. So how does doing it regularly each day, instead of just doing long sessions sometimes, specifically help you feel more accomplished and less worried? Think of it like this. Imagine you have a puzzle. If you get all the pieces at once and try to finish it in one go, it can feel like too much. You might get upset quickly. But if you work on the puzzle for 15 minutes every day, you make steady progress. Each day, you put a few more pieces in place. You feel a sense of accomplishment from seeing that progress. It's easy to handle. Practicing every day is the same. It breaks down the big job of learning English into small steps you can do. Each day you finish your practice, you get that small feeling of I did it. This constant feeling of accomplishment is very important. It tells your brain, see, you can do this. This builds belief in yourself. On the other hand, worry comes from the unknown, the fear of failing. When you practice regularly, you get more used to the hard parts. You learn how to handle them. You learn that mistakes are not the end of everything. You learn that you can get back up and keep going. This familiarity, built through doing it every day, reduces the shock of facing difficulties and makes you feel much calmer and more in control. It's like getting ready for a test by studying a little bit each day instead of trying to learn it all the night before. You feel more ready, less stressed. What are the real changes in your mind as you go from feeling scared of English to feeling sure of yourself? And how is practicing every day the direct reason for these changes? At first, when you're scared, what you think inside might be like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough. You feel like you have no power. Practicing every day starts to change this by giving you small, clear proofs of what you can do. When you learn a new word and use it right, what you think inside might change to, okay, I can learn new words. When you understand a simple sentence, it becomes, I can understand some English. These are small changes, but they are very important. They are the start of confidence. As you keep practicing, these small proofs build up. You start to feel a sense of control, the feeling that you can guide your learning and your progress. This control is the opposite of feeling powerless. You go from thinking English is too hard for me to I am learning English. This is a huge change in how you feel. The fear of making mistakes also gets smaller. Instead of seeing a mistake as proof that you can't do something, you start to see it as a chance to learn, a normal part of the process. This change in how you see things, from fearing failure to accepting the learning process, is a direct result of the regular, not too hard trying that practicing every day gives you. You're not trying to be perfect, you're just trying to try, learn, and get better day by day. And in that process, you gain a quiet, strong belief in yourself that comes from knowing you can grow and get better. As your belief in yourself grows from these daily efforts, you'll find that the journey of learning English becomes not just easier, but truly fun. This new desire to learn, fueled by your growing belief in yourself, naturally leads us to explore how to make this practice even better and more interesting. 4. Believe in yourself. Sometimes, when we start learning something new, especially a language like English, our minds can play tricks on us. We might hear ourselves say, "I'm not good at languages," or "I'll never be able to speak like a native." These thoughts can feel very real, like heavy weights holding us back. They are what we call self-doubt. It's like a little voice whispering, "Why even try? You'll just make mistakes." But here's a secret. That little voice is often wrong. And it's definitely not the whole story. Think about when you were a child learning to walk. Did you stand up and run perfectly the first time? Probably not. You wobbled, you stumbled, you might have even fallen down. But did you stop trying? You got back up, maybe with a little help, and you tried again. Each wobble, each stumble, was just a step on your way to walking. It wasn't a sign that you were bad at walking. It was just part of the learning process. Learning English is very similar. Making mistakes is not a sign that you were failing. It's a sign that you were trying, that you were pushing your boundaries, and that you were learning. Every time you say a word incorrectly, or use the wrong grammar, it's like a tiny lesson. Your brain notices, and next time, you'll have a better chance of getting it right. The key is to not let those mistakes stop you. Instead, see them as helpful feedback, like little signposts showing you where to adjust your path. This is where the idea of believing in yourself comes in. It's not about pretending you're perfect. It's about recognizing that you have the power to learn and grow. Your past experiences with learning, or what you think you're good or bad at, don't have to decide your future. If you struggled with English before, or if you feel like you have a bad memory for words, that's okay. Those feelings are understandable, but they are not the final word on your ability to become fluent. Imagine you have a beautiful garden. If you never water the plants or pull out the weeds, the garden won't grow, right? But if you tend to it every day with care and patience, it will blossom. Your English skills are like the garden. Your belief in yourself is the sunlight and the water. Without it, growth is slow and difficult. With it, amazing things can happen. We often think of confidence as something we get after we succeed, but actually, it's the other way around. We need to believe we can succeed even before we see big results in order to keep trying. This belief is what gives us the strength to do the daily practice that leads to success. It's a powerful cycle. When you start to believe that you can improve, you are more likely to do the things that will make you improve. Let's talk about those small wins. Think about the times you've managed to understand a sentence in a song, or when you successfully ordered coffee in English, or even when you learned a new word and used it correctly. These might seem like tiny victories, but they are incredibly important. Each one is a little spark of success. When you notice and appreciate these small wins, you are building your confidence from the ground up. It's like collecting small pebbles to build a strong wall. This is where daily practice is so important. Because you are practicing every single day, you are creating many opportunities for these small wins. You're not waiting for a big, perfect moment to feel good about your English. You're finding those moments every day. Maybe today you understood a new phrase on TV. Maybe tomorrow you managed to say hello to a neighbor in English. Each of these is a win, and each win tells that little voice of doubt, see? I am learning. I am getting better. So, how do we actively build this belief? One of the most effective ways is through positive self-talk. This means paying attention to the things you say to yourself in your head. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, try to gently challenge that thought. Ask yourself, is that really true? What have I learned already? What can I try next? Instead of saying, I made so many mistakes, I'm terrible at this, try saying, okay, I made some mistakes. That's part of learning. I'll try to remember that for next time. Or, this is hard, but I'm going to keep practicing. I can learn this. It might feel a little strange at first, like you're trying to convince yourself. But the more you practice positive self-talk, the more natural it becomes. It's like training a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. This positive internal conversation is a vital part of your daily practice. It's not just about reading or speaking, it's about nurturing your mind so it supports your efforts. Imagine two students trying to learn English. Student A thinks, this is too hard. I'll never get it. Student B thinks, this is challenging, but I'm going to try my best every day. I believe I can improve. Who do you think is more likely to stick with it and eventually become fluent? It's student B, because their belief in themselves is fueling their actions. Let me share a little story. When I was younger, I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I bought one and I was so excited. But my fingers felt clumsy and the chords sounded terrible at first. I would practice for a bit and then get frustrated. I started thinking, my fingers are too short or I just don't have a musical ear. I was ready to give up. Then, I remembered something my music teacher once said. Every great musician started by making noise. The difference is, they kept making noise until it became music. That really stuck with me. So, I decided to change my inner conversation. Instead of focusing on how bad it sounded, I started focusing on the small progress. I'd tell myself, okay, that chord transition was a little smoother today, or I held that note for a bit longer. I started celebrating the tiny improvements. I committed to just 15 minutes of practice every single day, even if it was just playing the same few notes over and over. Slowly, very slowly, things started to change. My fingers got more used to the strings. The chords started to sound clearer. I began to play simple songs. It wasn't overnight, and there were still days I felt discouraged. But because I had started to believe that I could learn, and because I was celebrating those small wins, I kept going. The daily practice, combined with a belief that it was possible, turned that frustration into a real skill. I learned to play songs, and more importantly, I learned that I was capable of learning something new, even when it felt hard. That feeling of I can is the engine that drives I do. When you genuinely believe that you can become fluent in English, you will naturally find the motivation and the energy to do the daily practice. You'll see it not as a chore, but as an investment in yourself, an exciting journey towards a goal you know you can reach. So, when you sit down to practice your English today, remember this. You are capable. You are learning. And every single day you dedicate to it is a step forward. Don't let self-doubt be the gatekeeper to your progress. Instead, let your belief in yourself be the key that unlocks the door to fluency. Acknowledge the mistakes, learn from them, celebrate your small victories, and most importantly, keep telling yourself, I can do this. This inner strength is just as crucial as any word you learn or any grammar rule you master. It's the foundation upon which your fluency will be built. Once you begin to cultivate this inner belief, you'll find that the external steps of daily practice become not just manageable but genuinely rewarding. But how do we translate this newfound confidence into concrete, actionable steps? The next section will explore the power of establishing a consistent, manageable daily routine. Conclusion: you have read through these pages and now we are at the start of something new. The most important thing, the real secret to speaking English well, is something we have talked about a lot: practicing. Every day. It is not a magic trick. It is a simple, easy, and very good way to get better. Think about growing a garden. You plant seeds and wait for plants. You water them every day, give them sun, and pull out weeds. This steady care helps the garden grow. Learning English is like this. Every day you spend speaking, listening, learning new words, or understanding more, you are helping your English grow strong and bright. This daily work is the most important key to speaking fluently, feeling sure of yourself, and understanding this great language better. You saw how trying a little bit each day turns shy attempts into strong speaking. This is the power of practicing every day. Every time you speak, even just a few words, you are making your mouth stronger and helping your brain remember how to speak easily. When you listen to English each day, your ears get used to different voices, sounds, and speeds. This makes it easier to understand. And the new words you learn? They do not vanish. When you see and use them often, as part of your daily practice, they become part of what you know and can use anytime. This is not just about learning. It is about making English a part of your life. You are not just studying. You are building a good habit that will help you for many years, making you more confident with every small win and helping you understand more with every new thing you hear. Of course, learning is not always easy. Some days you will feel tired, or other things will seem more important, or you will not feel like reading or speaking. These are the times that show how much you want to learn. But these are also the times when your daily practice is most important. Remember that daily practice does not mean studying hard for many hours every day. It means being steady. If you are tired, try just 5 minutes. Listen to a song in English, look at some new words on your phone, or just say your name and where you are from in English. This small step, this connection, is much better than skipping practice for a whole day. Be nice to yourself. If you miss a day, do not worry. Just start again the next day. The goal is to get better, not to be perfect. Every small step forward, no matter how small, shows you are trying and brings you closer to what you want. So, as you finish this book, I want you to feel ready. Ready to enjoy learning, ready to commit to practicing every day. The fluency you want, the confidence you wish for, and the better understanding you seek are not far away. They come from your steady, daily work. Make daily practice your good friend. Start today right now. The power to speak English well is not in the future. It is in your hands, in the simple, daily things you choose to do. Believe in yourself, be happy with every step you take, and know that with the strong habit of daily practice, you are on your way to becoming the confident, fluent English speaker you were always meant to be.